What is up, everybody? It is Monday, December 16th. DSG Boys are here after a banger weekend, and we're here to talk some baseball, and more specifically, some Padres baseball. Mike Devine, how we living, baby?
Living good, mate. Living good. No complaints. Ready to talk some ball.
Shout out everybody in the chat, and I know Clap Cheeks has been here. Alex, Dara, with always has some funny comments. Pensive, we'll get to that in a sec. Appreciate all you guys for hopping in, man. Welsh Fryer all the way out in Wales, my guy. Was good. AJ Preller says he's cooking up something good, man. And thank you for the engagement, love, man. It was an awesome weekend. I got engaged to my now beautiful fiance. She was my beautiful girlfriend, but super excited. And hopefully, great things to come on that. But you're not here to listen to me talk about my engagement. We're here to talk some Padres baseball, man. Since we last streamed on December 9th, Mike Devine, nothing has fucking happened, man.
Yeah.
Just rumors, bro. Just rumors. And we're going to talk about some of the rumors, but holy fuck, this has been a boring offseason so far.
Yeah, very. Very, very boring. Doesn't give us a lot to work with, to be honest.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. And but real quick, that's what makes the DSG better than, just your average, baseball podcast. Oh, we didn't get any signings. What are we going to talk about? We make shit. Hey, that's why you're here, baby. Hey, we're going to make some shit happen. We're going to talk about some hypotheticals. We're going to talk about what, if we were AJ Preller, what we need to do. Thank you, everybody, for the comments, man. You guys are honestly really nice. I really appreciate that. So far, the only thing the Pods have done this offseason, Mike, pretty much is re-sign Tyler Wade.
Yeah.
Bro, we haven't done shit. We got some holes. And post-winter meetings, I would have expected a little bit more. Thank you, Hat Trick. I appreciate you, bro. But Mies, what were you saying?
It's kind of just been a little bit of a waiting game for the Pods. Also, I mean, Profar is still out there. Everyone's talking about all these free agents. I haven't heard a single word about Jerks and Profar, just by media.
Or, bro, people forget about Ha-Seong Kim.
Yeah.
Bro, I thought Ha-Seong Kim to the Giants was like a first day of the winter of free agency he was going to sign. Now, the Giants signed Willy Adames, and, there's a lot of guys out there, man. I know the Baltimore Orioles signed that guy, Sagano, today. Didn't realize he was 35 years old.
Yeah, me either.
Pass. Good luck to him, but pass. 1 year, 13 mil. That's looking like what some of these contracts are going to be like. We need some pitching. We need another catcher. I saw someone, Mike, and I want to hear your instant perspective. And I want to hear people in the chat when I say this name, what they think. Heard some people saying two guys as kind of a backup catcher role. James McCann and Reese McGuire. James McCann, obviously, if you are a big Frank the Tank fan like your boys, he was James McCant with the Mets, but he actually was pretty solid as a backup for the Baltimore Orioles. And then Reese McGuire is famously known as the guy who jerked off in the car. He got caught jerking off in a car in 2020.
Got
arrested for that. So, meme-wise, if Reese
I'm not on Reese. I'm
out on Reese too. But if he does come to the Pods, we got some good meme potential there. That's the only reason why I'd want him to come is just for the memes. James McCann's interesting though. I feel like he's a veteran catcher who, and Juan, thanks for hopping in the chat, man. Fantastic. Higgy revival. Hey, I don't even know if it needs to be something like Higgy status, right? But hey, Reese would suck. We're out on Reese.
Terrible. McCann is also bad.
Yeah, let's look up his stats.
Guys, we're fucking grasping for straws if these are the two guys we're thinking about right now.
I think we got to make some fucking trades, bro.
Listen.
I'm looking at his stats right now.
8 career WAR. Reese McGuire. I don't even think the dude has any WAR. Let's see.
He just says that no. Reese McGuire has his JERK is off the charts though.
Jerk plus.
His jerk plus is off the charts. All right, we're looking at James McCann right now. Reese Magooner's good. That's pretty funny. Well, good stuff.
That is good.
Yeah, dude, these stats are disgusting. We're really grasping for straws right here when it comes to a backup catcher. How Control made fun of one. It's pretty funny. But yeah, let's look at the free agent catchers right now, because I really do think out of all the positions that we have, people are like, "Oh, are we going to trade Xander? No, we're not trading Xander. We're not doing any of this shit." Like, as much as that contract's not great, he still is like, I mean, like some of these deals, you're like, is it really that bad? But let's see right now. Some remaining free agents.
I mean, it's slim pickings, man.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, man.
It's ugly.
Yeah, so
it's ugly.
I'm curious, Mike, what right now before Christmas do you think the Pods do anything? And I'm gonna and the chat too. In the chat too. I don't know what they're gonna do. And I'll let you cook real quick, Mike. I know I've been talking a lot. I will say this. Real G's move in silence like lasagna, right? That's what Lil Wayne said. AJ Preller last year, we had no idea about the Dylan Cease trade. He was working on that. He's cooking. I know that dude's cooking. We're very lucky as Padres fans. Not every trade's going to work out. We've gotten hoed on a couple trades, especially when your GM has been the GM for 10 years. You're going to get fucked on some trades. There's no doubt. But the thing about Preller is he gives a fuck. Colin Cowherd and Ryan Russillo had that podcast that just dropped, and they were talking about the Padres. They're like, Ryan Russillo said, this is the craziest stretch I've ever seen, a kind of smaller market team go through. I know Preller's cooking, and I know he's probably has some restrictions, but yeah. And Dara says, until Roki signs.
I agree with Dara. I mean, listen, Roki's the white whale of the season, right? If you get Roki, you keep Cease, because then you're like, all right, we're actually in business. We got Roki, Cease, Michael King, Yu Darvish. That rotation
goes from we're nasty. We're nasty if we get
to good. So I think you have to wait. People in Twitter were saying that they really feel that AJ must know something. He must know something if he's been this hesitant to do anything. If he's been waiting this long to make a move, he has to feel either really confident about Roki, or he thinks that the rug's going to get pulled out from underneath him and he doesn't want to make a stupid move right now. So that's the two options that he has.
I'm looking at AJ Cassavell. Obviously, if you guys are Pods fans, you know AJ. He's an incredible sports writer, baseball writer. He's talking about, here's the Padres' pitch to land Roki Sasaki. And Jared, you're correct. We will need a 6-man rotation if we do get Roki, because I don't think he's going to throw that much. All right, boom, unique opportunity. Best I can say is I paid attention to how the teams have done so as far as overall success, both this year and in years past. That argument makes it seem like, all right, yeah, like probably the Dodgers and the Padres are two of the top, teams in his space. I know the Mariners are in on him and a couple other teams, but right now, industry experts think it's Dodgers, Padres. From that quote, I'm leaning Dodgers, just overall. That probably means Dodgers.
I would agree.
Then he says, I feel like we're in a good spot for a multitude of reasons. One, we're in San Diego. We sell out every night. This is Mike Schill. We have a competitive ball club. Chance for him to come in here and create a legacy, help us win our first World Series. I said that on Instagram, and I had the most fucking haters of all time when they're like, why would this pussy go to San Diego? All this shit. I'm like, bro, it's true. You become a legend. You become a legend, bro, if you do this shit. Like, there's no reason to not come and help, pitch with Yu Darvish. You win a first World Series in San Diego, Roki, you're a god. Imagine if he wins in his first year like Yamamoto did in LA.
Yeah.
Deep Japanese ties, obviously Yu Darvish, one of his favorite teammates. There's some interesting things. The right market. Maze, I don't know, man. I'm really interested to hear kind of what is your honest odds, not just saying it as a Padres fan. What are you putting the percentage that Roki Sasaki's a Pod?
It's really tough. I mean, I think he's a Dodger, to be completely honest. I'd say if I have to put a percentage on it, I'm going 10% chance Padres, 90% chance Dodgers. I would be dumbfounded, to be honest, as fucked as it is. I would be dumbfounded if Roki Sasaki. So the argument that you have to think about when it comes to Roki Sasaki is if he actually turns out to be that guy, and this is just the way it is. LA, if you're making min wage from baseball standards, you have more potential to make sponsorship money in LA than you do in San Diego. So his cap of earnings potential on that rookie deal would be higher in LA than it would be in San Diego. The only caveat is that if you're like a guy like Tatis was, and you become face of baseball, it doesn't matter what city you're in. But from a general standpoint, like I think he has more potential of making money in LA than he does in San Diego on a rookie
You
deal.
think it's for the money though? Because bro, these guys. Look at Roki. Mike, if
who goes to work and enjoys like going to, like, it doesn't matter if you're a baseball player. It doesn't matter if you're working for a school or if you're working for sales or you're doing whatever. No one wants to go to work. Like everyone would love to just get paid. Like so you're like, it's obviously about the money.
Yeah, our friend Dopey has a pretty interesting comment. As a Padres fan, you got to be a little worried on Roki. Like, you have to convince him right now that the Padres are willing to compete when you see teams like the Dodgers, Mets, Yankees, and other teams stack up. I kind of agree, kind of disagree. The reason why I disagree is the Padres haven't done anything to say that they're not, so far, that they're not going to try to be competitive going forward. I think they're just retooling than anything. Mike, what's up?
We're better than the Mets. We're better than the Mets.
We are better than the Mets.
That team's not. I don't care if you get Juan Soto. Pull the upcoming Mets lineup up right now with Pete Alonso out of there. Like, that lineup is. I get you get Juan Soto. That lineup's not that good. Their pitching not that good. Bullpen not that good. Like, I'm not putting the Mets above us when it comes right now. It's Dodgers, in my opinion. Right now, Dodgers are 1A, and we're 1B.
In the whole league?
In the NL specifically, I mean, in the AL, I don't see any teams that are better than the Dodgers. I don't think the Phillies are better. I don't think so. I think the Phillies are okay.
I think right now,
with the Phillies don't have if the Phillies go out there and sign a Tanner Scott, then I might change my mind. But their bullpen's not that good. They lost Jeff Hoffman. Who are they going to pitch? Matt Strahm? Is that their closer right now? We love Matt Strahm, but that's not a guy that's going to win you a championship. Bullpen's the most important part in baseball when it comes to playoffs.
The Braves too. Healthy Braves team.
Healthy Braves team. Yeah, I might eat my words. I might eat my words.
Dodgers are 1. Braves are 2. I'd put the Padres and the Phillies and the Mets all kind of in the same boat right now.
Okay, I like that. I think, but I think I'll say this. Sorry to interrupt. I'll say it one way. If the Padres get Roki, I honestly think we're comfortably 1B. Now, if the Dodgers get Roki, it's the Dodgers 1, 50 feet of crap, the Braves closely behind the Phillies, Padres, Mets.
Yeah, so Jared Garcia
fucks the league.
So a couple different comments real quick, Mike.
All right.
Jared Garcia, what's up, brother? I always see you, interacting. You're the man. Roki has a problem with the Japanese media, which is a rumor. I'm not sure if that. I think the Japanese media has been pretty tough on Roki for the last, few years. He knows shot. He goes to the Dodgers. They have 30 reporters there every day. Interesting perspective. I have heard he might prefer a smaller market for that reason. Right now, it's all hearsay, right? We really don't know. I wish his decision had to be made December 17th and not January 17th. But we're gonna still think about it. Connor, what's up, brother? People are freaking out. Don't stress when Merrill and Tatis are finishing first and second. Completely agree. We have peak Tatis right now. If Tatis has a healthy season, if Tatis plays 155 games this year, the Padres will make the playoffs. Without a doubt in my mind. If he plays 155 games this year, the Padres will make the playoffs.
We're a playoff team.
We haven't seen a full healthy Tatis in an entire season before. He's that good that he's still a top 10 player, regardless of who you're talking to in baseball. And he's never even played a full real season.
Yeah. There's one catalyst when it comes to the Padres this year making a playoff run again. Last year, the bullpen was a little bit shaky to start the year. There was a little uncertainty late in, close games at the start of the season. Jason Adam, if he pitches the way he pitched last year, I feel extremely confident.
HOTTOGO, bro.
Had a great take from Brooke was actually watching the show, and she said she thinks wouldn't Roki benefit from going to a market like Jackson Merrill where the attention is more on him? Wouldn't he benefit from the increased attention from the media to start out as a Padre without the pressure? Similar. You got
that's a real take, dude. There's also the argument. The Dodgers argument is, hey, if Roki sucks, the Dodgers can mask that. They'll be like, hey, you're good. We have fucking.
But listen, the argument against that is that when it comes, dude, the San Diego media, we are the most happy-go-lucky motherfuckers of all time, dude. We really are. There's maybe 2 people that we've actually given grief to in the past as fans. And it's Eric Hosmer and it's Xander Bogaerts. And the only reason that they're getting that grief is because they were making way more money than they should have been making. And good for them that they got that money. But they were making way more money than they should have been making. And that's why you get grief. Yeah. Even that grief, Matt, was not that difficult.
It's nothing, bro. If you don't have a Twitter,
why aren't you playing better, Xander? Like, Mike, it's not like, oh, we're gonna burn your jersey in the middle of the street and egg your house. Like, we're not. It's not that shit. Like,
Mike, if you pick San Diego and you sign a fat contract in San Diego, you just don't download Twitter, you're fucking chilling. Like, literally, no one's actually mad at Xander in real life, bro. Like, Xander goes like, bro, hey, Xander goes, he's set, bro. Just don't download Twitter. You're chilling. The San Diego media, when he hops on Ben and Woods or Craig Elston or, Gwynn and Chris, there's no hard questions. And it's not there. Hey, that's just the vibe in San Diego. That's just kind of what we do. And I'll be honest, hand up, I like it. I like the laid back attitude. It kind of goes with our city. I'm not saying it's the right way. I'm not saying it's the wrong way, but that is definitely a, benefit. And I think we should lean into it a little bit. If Roki sucks, no one in San Diego is, one, he's not getting paid any money. So if he sucks for some reason, it's like, hey, like that.
Dude, exactly.
If he's in LA and he sucks, though, their fan base is a lot bigger, man. Their fan base is a lot bigger. Yeah. They can be a little mean.
This is the difference, right? This is the clear difference between the two. We should stop playing the Adam highlights because we might get demonetized on this account.
Because
copyright. We may get the video pulled off of YouTube if we're playing all these highlights. That being said, besides the point, the difference between the two is that the Dodgers are the most hated team, maybe outside of the Yankees, in the entire MLB. So people will be rooting for Roki to fail. No one will really care that much if Roki struggles to start out on the Padres from a national landscape.
Yeah, no one will give a fuck.
People fucking hate us. They hate the fans. They hate Padres fans.
Hate us, bro. Hey.
No, people hate the Padres fan base. They think we're insufferable, but so does every fan base about every other fan base. That's just the way it is. Like, if you saw that post that said Padres fans are number 1 on like the fan base rankings, that one kid first, every comment's like, not the fucking stupid ass Padres fans. I'm like, they're talking about us. They're talking about us.
Bro, just like, I'm just so excited for the season, man. Like, I was watching the fucking Bears. I'm watching the Bears. Thank you, Nicholas. I appreciate the nice comment. And thank you, Dopey. I really appreciate that too. I was watching the Bears, Vikings, and then the Raiders, Falcons game. And guys, hand up. We need baseball back. Those were some stinker NFL games, man. I'm excited for the NFL playoffs. I'm excited for college football playoffs. But man, baseball's the best. Regardless of what the Pods are going to do, they're going to do something. But dude, I'm fiending for a Padres transaction, man. I saw on Instagram today, I saw some of the guys, like, saw Adrian Morihone's putting in the work right now, dude. And like, I think these dudes are going to be hungry. I think that's an underrated part that not a lot of people are thinking about. You think us as fans get embarrassed by the 24 fucking scoreless innings? You think Manny Machado doesn't have a chip on his shoulder going into next year? Tatis? What's that face? You think he doesn't give a fuck?
That's
crazy.
I just don't know. Matt. I don't know. I think they do 100%.
If they don't, then they fucking better.
No,
if they
Matt,
don't, then I'm going to become mean. I'm going to become mean fucking San Diego media.
I think they care, and I think they have a chip on their shoulder. But I do think there's a possibility that our fan base cares more about the disgusting 24 innings scoreless than they do. They're probably like, that's baseball, and we're like, how the fuck does that happen?
You know what 24 I mean? Scoreless. I hear the number 24, and I absolutely
say it preemptively. You have to say it preemptively. Like when they posted that photo of or that video on MLB the Twitter
Great
where
point,
like,
Rico.
One of the top moments of the year was the Padres triple play to go to the playoffs, and then I literally just quote tweet them like 24 scoreless with like a meme because you just got to get ahead of it because then the comments can't hurt you. It's like roasting yourself when you go somewhere. It's self-deprecating.
It's all about self-deprecation. I know that, dude. I as just a competitor, you don't make it to the major leagues unless you have that fucking blood in you. And I know those dudes are pissed, and I know they're going to come at it. And the Dodgers can get every fucking free agent of all time. I think the Padres lost that series more than the Dodgers won that series. I still believe it, bro. Yeah, I'll go down. And then they won the World Series, and they deserve it. They beat the Mets, and they beat us. They beat the Mets, and they beat the Yankees. More power to them. Congratulations. That being said, I really do believe the Padres were the better team. And the fact that they lost, that happens sometimes, but they got to come into 2025 hungry, bro, because people care about the Padres now. San Diego's rallying around those motherfuckers. Game 1, Ohtani homer, that wasn't good. All right, I'm going to share something real quick, and then we got a couple things, and then we'll probably rip another 20 minutes, and then we'll be good to go. Our boy John Heyman, if you are a Twitter head like Shaboys, you see his shit all the time. Very famous for his Arson Judge comment where he freaked out on that. He just recently freaked out on a sports radio guy, but had some really interesting comments from the winter meetings. And I have a couple things to say about it. And I'm excited to hear what Mike has to say.
Padres news. One thing about the Padres are
also, brother, hey, he needs to drink some tea or something. What the fuck is wrong?
He's got a case of the Doc Rivers going on.
Padres news. One thing about the Padres they are listening on some of their big stars. They are listening on Cease, Arise.
He doesn't fucking know. Mike, he says the Padres are listening on big stars. Cease, valid. Arise is a star. Is he? If you say gun to my head right now, Mike, gun to your head. Name 5 San Diego Padres stars right now. Does Arise even come up?
No, Matt. If you tell me name, this is the issue with the media today, right? No one's as valid and truthful as the DSG is, so that's probably issue number one. We're the most verifiable source in baseball. Besides that, you're gonna say they're listening on their stars. If you say that instantly, there's 3 names that come to mind: Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Jackson Merrill. Obviously, Jackson Merrill's not getting traded. So if you see that media and you're like, I don't want to listen to this annoying ass voice speak right now.
Yeah.
Like then you're thinking, oh, Tatis. And then you got all those dimwits in Boston. Great city, by the way. Love Boston as a city. Idiots. Just absolute idiots. You're not getting Fernando Tatis Jr. And the fact that these fuckers are even like, maybe if we do that trade, we might be able to get by without giving up Roman Anthony or Marcelo Meyer. What fucking world are you living in? You think you're getting the most affordable superstar contract in its prime, and they're like, well, actually, he has a lot of money left on the books because he's good.
All right, wait up. Let's watch the end of this clip, and then we'll dissect. But I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So fucking
Bogarts. Obviously, that Bogarts deal looks a little steep right now, but who knows? The contracts are moving up fast, so they're listening. Are they likely to trade any of them? I'm not sure. They say they're not likely, but there's a lot of stuff going on here, and the values of these players are going up. I mean, people thought they overpaid for a few of these players. At this point, not so sure that they did. So
I like that take.
That's what's
so
I want you to go back.
So this is interesting. A lot of things to talk about here. First off, the Stars comment, when I saw that and I listened, because Bleacher Report tweeted the Padres are quote unquote listening to their stars per John Heyman. So no one actually listens to the clip. They just assume, oh, we're getting Tatis. Not going to happen. He mentioned Dylan Cease, who we're going to talk about. He mentioned Luis Arraez and Xander Bogaerts. The Xander one, kind of crazy, but I kind of liked what he said at the end. Xander Bogaerts' contract, if he could just become a 3.5 to 4 WAR player, is way more bearable today than it was even a year ago, let alone 2 years ago. Because that contract's a stinker, no matter what. But we're seeing how much fucking these guys are getting paid now, bro. These MLB contracts don't seem to be stopping. So curious to see what Ha-Seong Kim gets. What are the other guys? But if you give me a Xander Bogaerts, if you give me a 265, 780, 800 OPS season with decent defense, I consider that a good deal.
100%. I mean, if you look, what's so funny, man, is like, I think the issue is that he has such high expectations. Like when we heard about who Xander Bogaerts was, we're like, this guy is going to come in. He's going to hit 25 plus homers, hit 315, and play Gold Glove defense. And then he comes over. His 2023 was actually like not bad. He had a 4.5 WAR, 120 OPS plus. This year, a lot shittier. So it makes sense why he got a bad rep. But like, it's just so funny that I don't know, man. Like the more the offseason goes on and you see some of these contracts, the more I'm buying into 2025 Xander Bogaerts. Like I might be fully bought back in on Xander, bro.
I think last year was an outlier, and I really hope it is, because if it's not an outlier and this is just what he's gonna be, then we're in trouble. But
Matt, just look at the number differences between that, dude. A 352 career OBP down to a 307. That's not all just hitting. That's just it's fluke, bro. That has to be fluke.
I actually agree with you, Mike. And I just need this guy. So the optimist in me is, hey, he's gonna bounce back. He'll be a 3.5, 4 WAR player next year, and we will never have to talk about it. We'll be like, dude, fuck yeah, Xander, good job, good season. The pessimist in me is saying, I think we might have given a shit contract out to a dude with an absolutely cooked wrist. And I don't think it's anything about Xander. I don't think Xander is trying to be not working hard or doing anything like that. Yeah. But you would hear some of his post-game interviews last year, Mike, and I'm like, man, this guy looks like he's about to cry. Like, he looks like he's like, man, I am cooked. I'm cooked.
Like, yeah, but then sometimes he just hits, he just runs into a few, and you're like, you still have it. You still have it. Where's this gone? Dude, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's mental. I don't know what's going on. I don't know, man. I mean, he was probably the most beloved Red Sox outside of Mookie, and when Mookie left, he was the most.
Yeah, he was well beloved in Boston, man.
And then he comes over to the Padres with high expectations. What?
He kind of had Tatis level vibes in Boston with how much they loved him.
Yeah, he was a homegrown talent that, I mean, even more than Tatis, what he did for Red Sox, he won them a World Series or two. So,
well, we'll talk about Xander as the year, but all I'm going to say, DSG on December 16th, Xander will be starting probably at shortstop for the San Diego Padres on opening day. He won't be traded, so don't worry about that.
You can't trade Cease, bro.
You can't. This is the guy. Name of the episode. This is what we're really going to talk about. Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease is a really, really interesting case, man, because I kind of go back and forth. I loved watching him during the season. He had a stretch around maybe from the no-hitter on. He had like a 2-month stretch where he was like legitimately unhittable, where you're watching him, you're like, this is fucking incredible what this guy is doing. Like, he would literally go in 9-pitch inning, 2 strikeouts, 1 fly out, just minding his own business. Then comes the playoffs. And he legitimately choked it. He choked it in the playoffs. If he gives us a good start in that first game, we could have easily swept the Dodgers. And I know people are going to laugh, but we literally would have. And if he gives us a decent start in the 4th game, valid. I do understand he was on short rest, which is understandable. So I'm not going to say like it's something that, I would have done it. He was on short rest, but didn't have it. Pretty much made the 4th game an absolute blowout. Dylan Cease is going to get a fat contract, Mike. More than Michael King, more than Musgrove, more than Yu Darvish. He has shown, he's a 28-year-old with 16 WAR, career 3.75 ERA. The dude's a stud.
Yeah.
Right now, it's, and I'm curious what people in the comments say. I see a couple of these stuff, a couple comments. If you trade Dylan Cease, it looks like you're punting on the season to an extent because you're like, why do you trade an ace? And but if you also look at what we did last year when we traded Juan Soto with a year left on his contract. We trade Juan Soto. We know we weren't re-signing Juan Soto, Mike. We knew it. So what did AJ do? He trades Juan Soto. He gets controllable pieces back. We get Randy Vasquez, who's going to be on our team for 4 years. Johnny Brito for another 4 years. Higgy, who had an incredible year. Michael King, who's going to be a Cy Young hopeful going into the season. Cooked with that trade. And he got fucking Drew Thorpe, who we switched for Dylan Cease. If we know Dylan Cease is not going to sign with us, and I'm saying he's not going to sign with us, I would say 90%
he's signing with
free agents.
He's not signing with us.
So why wouldn't you trade Dylan Cease?
So, in my opinion, and that's exactly what I was going to say, but mine was going to be a little bit different from the Juan Soto deal, right? Like, when we traded Juan Soto, we did kind of have a position that our hitting wasn't necessarily a weak spot for the Padres in 2023. Like, it wasn't like we don't have offensive talent, right? But if you trade Dylan Cease, you're basically relying on Michael King and Yu Darvish to, 1, stay healthy the entire season, and 2, provide ace-level material for the team to be competitive. And if you punt a season when Manny's 32, Xander's 32, Tatis, Merrill's got a year of control for free right now, essentially, like, you're going to have to start worrying about paying other guys. Like, this is a season that he could genuinely be a guy where you just got to take your losses and just roll the dice one more time. And if it doesn't work out,
do you say, so kind of similar to 2023 when we didn't trade Blake Snell, right? For that half season.
A little bit, but I think it depends on what position the Padres are in at the deadline this year. We were not in a position of a playoff spot when we went to the deadline in 2023. We didn't look like we weren't even going to make it, and they still rolled the dice. Now, if we're in a position to make it at the deadline this year, you stick with Dylan Cease and you say, all right, we got to ride balls to the wall, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Now, if you're not going to make the playoffs and it's clear, you can still recoup value for Dylan Cease. Like, you still can. You're not going to get necessarily as much, but teams get desperate as fuck at the deadline, and they will be willing to overpay. Arguably, might be willing to overpay a little bit more than what they would pay for right now at the trade. So I'm just saying it is a possibility that you let it play out. You see how the team does, because the worst case scenario, Matt, is if you trade Dylan Cease to the Orioles and trade deadline comes around, and you're like, fuck, we actually need another starter. And, and the guy you got you got like Heston Kjerstad, who at the time has like a 225.
With like 10 homers.
670 OPS. And you're like, that wasn't really necessarily the most worth it trade right now when you look at it, because Dylan Cease is a consistent workhorse. The guy's pitched, 156 games in.
Yeah, Mike. So that's what I was gonna bring up real quick.
Bro.
I looked at, I think Sammy Lev had an interview on TikTok or something, like he got interviewed on the streets, and Dylan Cease led our team in Ks. He led our team in like a shit ton of stats. I think the only stat he didn't lead us in was like ERA, and that was Mike King. Dylan Cease was a stud last year, and I think the sad thing is, what have you done for me lately to an extent? But because he sucked in the playoffs, we kind of forget that. And it blows. That is actually a huge bummer. But, yeah, so I see. The real thing is, the real argument is this. If we get Roki, Cease becomes expendable to an extent. If we don't get Roki and you want to be competitive in 2024 or 2025, you have to keep Cease. You have to. And
100%.
I agree. I want to see the comments real quick.
If you get Roki and you keep, why would you trade Cease if you get Roki listen, if you think about why we didn't make the playoffs or win a World Series last year, you could make the argument that it was Dylan Cease. You could also make the argument that it was the fact that we didn't have Joe Musgrove pitching as well. That could have ate that fourth game. If you keep Dylan Cease and you sign Roki, then your 4-game starter stretch in the playoffs, assuming everyone's healthy, is Michael King, Dylan Cease, Yu Darvish, and Roki Sasaki. Instead, if you trade Dylan Cease, then you got to fill that fourth spot in with somebody that you got to hope, like a Randy Vasquez. You got to hope he starts to play, like turn into that guy that we would hope he will be.
Yeah, you got a great point.
I'm just like you. It depends on what this team is expecting from their season. They should have won a World Series this year. They didn't. They're not that far off. They arguably should be, a real contender again this year, considering that they're not losing necessarily an insane amount of value from a pitching standpoint. I don't know.
I mean, you're right.
I don't know, man. I just don't
the guy that gave us the best, a guy who gave us the best innings last year is still on our team, bro. Matty Nux, Randy Vasquez gave us fucking quality starts last year, man. Baseball is a crazy ass sport. We always look at the big dogs, especially for the playoffs. Dylan Cease sucked in the playoffs. That being said, maybe it was just and it's interesting because if you believe this team can win a World Series next year with a couple moves, you obviously can't trade him. But the other argument is if you know he's not going to re-sign, can you get some controllable MLB-ready pieces back? Like a Randy Vasquez type guy who could fill in as a 4 or 3 starter, and then boom, you got that. So now you have controllable pieces. The main thing is this. We don't know if the Padres are going to spend money, guys. We really don't. We're using our optimism to believe, hey, I really, really hope the Padres spend some money. Higgy leaving probably was the idea of like, hey, like I don't think he's going to replicate that season. Honestly, I think that's probably why they let him go. I do think they could have probably, re-signed him. I do think they're waiting for Roki, but I don't know, man. I know Dylan Cease or Michael King, both either one or both will not be on the team next year. So there's a real argument to get, if we can get controllable, legit pieces back for 1 year of Dylan Cease, given that fucking Sagano got the same amount of money that Dylan Cease will get this year.
I feel way better.
I would love Reed Detmers. I would love Reed Detmers, but there's no reason for the Angels to trade for him.
I'd feel way better about trading Dylan Cease for controllable young talent if they manage to work an extension with Michael King this offseason. I would be like, if you do that,
Patrick, I don't know if you saw that.
Sorry? Suarez is more expendable than Cease? Oh, 100%. I think if you want to go for the most bang for your buck, you package Suarez in Cease and you try to get some value back. And that's a trade. That's a blockbuster trade. You recoup a lot of value. Our bullpen is pretty stacked, to be completely honest. Suarez has an opt-out after this year. Assuming what the reliever market's getting right now, he's probably going to fucking opt out because these guys are getting crazy money. Unless he shits the bed this year, he's going to opt out. So yeah, I mean, they should really. The one thing, and this is something we couldn't say last year, but we can say it this year, and maybe, hopefully, it's not going to be a situation next year where we're saying the opposite again. I do trust AJ Preller's vision. I think whatever he's going to do, he's a madman. He knows kind of some stupid shit to kind of work around to get a team together that's going to play relatively competitive, if not really competitive baseball. We have cornerstones in place. The emergence of Merrill. If Merrill can put back up similar numbers to last year, which you never know with rookies going into sophomore years, sometimes things get a little there is sophomore slumps. But if he's able to do that again, this team it's going to be as competitive, if not more, because they have a larger chip on their shoulder this year.
I agree. Mike, real quick, just wanted to shout out Ollie. He said he wore my DSG.
Come on.
Ollie, I'm sorry, brother. Hey,
That's
man.
brutal.
Yeah, it's part of the game, brother. I'm sorry. I hope you take some ice packs to the eye. You'll heal up, brother, but I'm sorry about that. Yeah, man, I'm excited to see what we do because right now, man, we probably need another outfielder. Or, I mean, we definitely need another outfielder, unless you think Tirso is going to be the starter, which I actually am excited to see Tirso cook, especially in spring training. But I don't
Bro, Matt, you can't go from we should have won the World Series to relying on Tirso Ornelas to be the guy, to be the catalyst to take this team to the next level. That's just not a.
Oh man, Ben Brown and Suzuki would be an incredible comeback for Dylan Cease if we traded Dylan Cease and maybe a Robert Suarez. Who's the Cubs closer right now?
Honestly, I don't know. They had Alize last year. He got DFA'd.
Yeah, Cubs closer. And sorry, chat, that we don't know who the Cubs closer is right now, but that's they don't have one. All right. So, yeah, let's look. I'm looking right now.
Porter Hodge.
Yeah, so fucking Scrub Central. Trading Dylan Cease to an NL team, NL contender who just got Kyle Tucker, kind of sketch. But a Dylan Cease and, Robert Suarez trade, you get Suzuki back, you get Ben Brown, and then maybe they throw another one of their top, 10 prospects in there. Because guess what? Everybody's saying, oh, we got Chella Jerry, we got fucking Jason Adam, we got some dogs. Skyline, our guy Sean Reynolds, we got some fucking dogs in our bullpen. If there's one thing the Padres have right now that's cooking, it's the pen, bro. I love where the pen's at. Because we even have guys like Bradley Rodriguez. We got some demons, Tyson Neighbor, demons in the minors right now.
Yeah.
Pen's good. Starting pitching, little sketch. Need an outfielder, need a backup catcher. Oh, I would love Javier Assad too, low key. Javier Assad's got VAR, bro. I love the little glasses he wears. Javier Assad's got VAR. Owen Cassie only issue, the dude strikes out a shit ton.
Former pod partner.
And people forget we traded him to get Yu Darvish. Francis Pena, also a dog. If we trade Cease, I would say what doesn't even look great, Little Casino. It looks awful if we trade. But Dylan Cease was terrible in the playoffs. It's completely true. Seiya Suzuki would be my dream target. That dude fucking rakes. I wanted him when he came over 2 years ago from Japan. Imagine we get Roki and Seiya, man. Holy shit. We'd have those Japanese games, Yamamoto, Shohei versus Seiya, Yu Darvish, and Roki, bro. Pretty sick. We're going to go right here. He says, what do we think of the SDFC jerseys? I'm going to pull them up right now. I saw them. They're also called kits, I've heard. Looking at them right now. And then we're going to go into, there's a fun one to end it on. But appreciate everybody rocking. We've had like 100 people in here, man. That's crazy, especially because there's no Padres news. So I appreciate all you guys actually hopping in. The new SDFC. That guy, Chucky. Yeah. I like them.
All right.
I think the direct TV sponsorship's kind of weird, but
I mean, they're
cool.
Okay. They're okay. Those kind of remind me of the 2017 Padres, 2018 Padres.
Oh, that's a diss.
It's the jersey before the good one. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I like that. I do dig their whole thing is like enter the state of flow. Like what I was saying at football yesterday.
I was wondering why you kept saying that. Now it just started to make sense. In my opinion, if I'm being honest, those are pretty fucking ugly.
You don't like them?
No, they're pretty ugly. Like they could have done much more when it comes to a home uniform.
I kind of wish their colors were brown and gold. I wish that was kind of just like the SD colors.
No,
maybe
they should have gone with like the City
Elvis vibes. That's a great comment.
For real though, it's the jersey before the jersey, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I like that. Take me easy. All right, before this episode ends, like we said too, man, everybody who's rocking with us today. Oh, sorry, Mike. My bad. Let me stop sharing screen. Very interesting thing I saw on Twitter today that cracked me up. Brooksgate, which I think is like a what is Brooksgate? Brooksgate is like a baseball account. I'm not really sure, but they had the list of the top 100 players in baseball going into 2025. A lot of really interesting picks is what I'm going to say. Shohei Ohtani, number 1. They got Gunnar over Aaron Judge, Bobby Witt, Soto, Paul Skeens, Jose Ramirez, and then Toddy. Toddy's coming in at 8. Who on that list above Toddy would you take over? You would take Toddy over?
Oh man, that's tough. I think he might be accurately ranked there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I am more shocked that Julio Rodriguez over Mookie Betts.
Julio's way too
Francisco
high.
Lindor,
Jacob DeGrom hasn't.
Tarek Skubal should be over Paul Skeens, in my opinion.
Jacob DeGrom has pitched a total of. Let me do the math here. 35 games in the last 3 seasons. How the fuck is he in the top 12? He hasn't played.
I agree. I agree. Bobby Witt should switch with Gunnar. Great call zone. Should we?
Michael Harris at number 15.
Michael Harris, I won't lie.
Michael Harris put that number over Cattell. Over Cattell.
However, Cattell's crazy. Ketel Marte came in at 23, which is absurd. But what isn't absurd / pretty fucking awesome? Jackson Merrill, man. Guys, we got a superstar. We said this on when we were doing the show with Hog last year, man. We're like, dude, I think Jackson Merrill's gonna be sick. We were shooting for the stars with that take. That motherfucker was way more than we expected, man. Jackson Merrill's a star. I mean, we got to find a way to keep him in SD. I know that's way out, but
this list is crazy flawed, bro.
Patrick Bailey
over Devers, Harper, Trey Turner.
Wow. Oh, Merrill wasn't over Lindor. Lindor was at 14.
Dude, CJ Abrams over fucking Manny Machado.
No, Mike, the funniest name on this list is Alejandro Kirk, bro, at 35.
What? I didn't see that. What? Okay, is this
you got Alejandro Kirk over Bregman,
huh?
Matt McClain, who didn't play once this year.
This is a
Corbin
troll.
Burns, Manny Machado, Gabriel Moreno, most overhyped motherfucker I've ever seen in my entire life.
This got to be a troll.
Yeah. Jung-Hoo Lee, dude played 2 months.
Xavier Edwards at 84. Xavier Edwards is not the 84th best player in baseball, bro.
Hey, how about Xander Bogaerts above Dylan Cease, above Blake Snell,
above Logan Webb,
above Logan Gilbert? Like this is
above Jackson Churio. This has to be a troll, bro. This is like
it's a really interesting. This is their streamer F4 projections. I guess it's from Fangraph, so not this guy, but pretty insane, man. It is cool though to see so many Padres on this list. Like, regardless of what they say and like regardless of what people are talking about, the Padres have some fucking talent, man. We haven't. Manny Machado, second. I think someone commented on in the chat. Pretty much after Machado's elbow healed up, the dude was fucking raking, raking, bro. Toddy, obviously, his playoffs was absolutely incredible. Jackson Merrill's emergence. If Xander could be a 4-WAR player, that's 4 dudes in the lineup. Guy I want to talk to you and the team or in the chat about before we call in a nap. Jake Cronenworth. Jake Cronenworth's got some value, man. And with some of these contracts that are being handed out, Jake Cronenworth's deal does not seem as bad as it did.
Not at all.
2 years ago. Jake is entering his age 31 season? 32
30?
or 30? Let's see.
31.
All right. So Jake's entering his, Jake, Very interesting player. Should have probably never gotten that contract extension. Just we kind of overdid it a little bit there, especially for as a team strapped with cash. Jake isn't a bad player though. That's the thing. I feel like Jake's a player too that I feel like if we do trade him, we're gonna look back and be like, shit, like he was actually way better defensively than we really appreciated. Because you watch what's his name? Luis Ariz play first base.
Yeah.
You're like, Jesus fuck, dude, this guy's not good. So what do you expect with Jake, man? Like, do you think we can get anything for Jake, or is he worth trading, or is he worth keeping? I think Jake's value, obviously, I think Hung Sloth, which is a great name, just said Jake needs to play second. Way more valuable at second than he is first. Unfortunately, who plays first if he plays second? Wandy, Yuki, and Suarez make up 20 mil on 3 expendable arms. Man, this guy Patrick's spitting facts, bro. That Wandy contract is
you're spitting facts,
dude.
but no one's taking Wandy. But Yuki and Suarez have some value, I would say. No one's taking Wandy Perez.
Average offense, above average fielder, probably not worth it as a catcher this year. This is all right. But Mike, do you think any team? I do think teams would bite on Jake.
I do too, and I can't believe I just called. What just happened here? This guy just X out. Am I still, Chad? Am I still live? Did this guy just leave? I thought he was asking.
Hey, my bad, bro. Accidentally moved over.
No worries. What were you asking? You were saying something about
so do you think Jake has value? Like, what do you think? Like, and also, what's your honest perspective of Chrome going into the year? Because last year he looked very sad playing baseball. Like, he did not look like he was having a good time.
I mean, he showed flashes at the start of the season, like he fixed his swing a little bit, and then he just lost it again. And I don't know if it's like, I don't know what's going on, but if you can play solid defense and you can give us 17 bombs in a season, and I mean, the real issue there is he struck out a lot, man. Like, he just struck out a lot, didn't walk a lot. But
he had 118 strikeouts. It's fucking crazy.
He didn't,
even though 2020, when he was an all-star, which was a kind of a fake all-star in 2022.
His only real all-star was 2021, bro. 2021, he was a dog.
Yeah. So he went so far. Jake Cronenworth's stats. It goes 129 OPS plus, 2020 fake year, 122 OPS plus, 109, 89, 99. He's probably a little closer to like a 105 overall. His career is 107, so that makes sense. 107 OPS plus with solid to better than average defense. And we're trying to shell some cash. Should they look to move him?
No. He's the one guy where his contract is almost too good to replace. Like, he's too valuable at that money. That money is like,
Seattle, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they want another guy.
Give me Brian Wu.
I don't know, man. I don't think Chrome gets traded.
Tyson Neighbors.
I don't think Chrome gets traded.
Yeah, so Jackson has a great point here. 10 of Crone's 17 home runs came in the first 2 months of the season. That tells me one thing. He either got hurt, ran out of gas, or like, you hit 10 home runs in the first 2 months of the season. That means you're on pace for a 30 home run season. Like, yeah. How do you just lose that? Really interested to see, guys. I know we've been streaming for 54 minutes. We've had a shit ton of people on this stream. We really do appreciate everybody for hopping on. If the Padres do come out with any big news within the next week, we're going to live stream that night.
Yes,
so we will be there, possibly live stream on Wednesday if anything else is popping. But yeah, man. Hey, pray for some Pods news. Pray for some good Pods news. And, happy holidays. I appreciate everybody for, smash that damn like button. I always forget to say that, but I think it does help the algorithm. Oh, last thing, Nolan Arenado. No reason for us to even be in talks for Nolan Arenado, given the fact that, he's a third baseman. We have our third baseman locked up for 10 years. I did see rumors he'd play first base, but we'll see. Someone says Santander getting signed. Weekly vids. Yeah, we're going to do weekly Devine deck too, but we're actually going to post this one on Spotify as well. But Mike, any last words?
No, man, fun time talking ball. Hopefully the Pods make some moves so we can have a little bit more juice to talk about rather than wishing upon a star. But we still got some time before Roki can even sign. So at least we have that hope in front of us.
Dylan's like, did you do the DSG announcement? I did do it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate everybody for streaming or with us. Hit us up if you liked it, and feel free to like, subscribe, do all that, and hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your week. Peace.